The signal captain, Sarah Chen, stood in the command center of the UES Prometheus, watching the endless stars through the reinforced viewing ports. The ship hummed quietly around her as it traveled through the void at nearly light speed. Her crew of 200 had been on this deep space mission for 3 months, following strange energy signatures that Earth's long-range sensors had detected from the Kepler 442 system. Captain, called Lieutenant Alex Rivera from the communications station, his voice cutting through the quiet bridge atmosphere. "We're picking up those signals again. They're much stronger now, and they're definitely artificial." Sarah nodded, her dark eyes reflecting the starlight. She had been expecting this moment since they left Earth. The signals were unlike anything humanity had encountered before, suggesting an intelligence far different from their own. "Can you determine the source?" "Yes, ma'am. It's coming from a massive structure in orbit around the 4th planet. The readings are incredible. Whatever it is, it's at least 50 kilometers across." Dr. Marcus Webb, the mission's lead xenobiologist, looked up from his research station with excitement gleaming in his eyes. "Captain, this could be it. Our first contact with an alien civilization. The implications are staggering." Sarah felt, her heart racing. This was what she had trained for her entire career. Humanity had always wondered if they were alone in the universe, and now they might finally have their answer. "All stations, prepare for first contact protocols. Dr. Webb, I want you to analyze everything we can about these beings before we make contact." The Prometheus was humanity's most advanced exploration vessel, built to survive the harshest conditions space could offer. Its hull was constructed from metamaterials that could withstand the impact of small asteroids. The ship's fusion reactors provided enough power to operate for decades without refueling. Multiple layers of shielding protected the crew from radiation, and the ship's defensive systems could handle threats from space debris traveling at significant fractions of light speed. The ethereal collective 57 light-years away, in the massive biomechanical habitat known as Haven 7, scientist Zix9 was conducting routine deep space observations. The ethereal collective had been peacefully exploring their local star cluster for over 15,000 years, cataloging new worlds and studying the natural phenomena of space. Zix9's crystalline form pulsed with soft blue light as it detected an anomaly approaching their system. The readings showed a small object moving at tremendous speed, but what caught the scientists' attention was the energy signature. It was unlike anything in the collective's extensive databases. "Honored Zix9," came a harmonic voice through the habitat's communication network. "Are you detecting the approaching object?" "Yes, High Counselor Vexbrime. It appears to be artificial, but the technology is completely unknown to us. The energy output suggests advanced propulsion systems, but the design principles are alien to our understanding." High Counselor Vexbrime, whose ancient consciousness had guided the collective for over 2 millennia, felt a mixture of curiosity and caution. "This is unprecedented. In all our years of exploration, we have never encountered another spacefaring civilization. What are your recommendations? We should observe and attempt communication. If this is indeed a vessel from another species, it could be the most significant discovery in our history." The ethereal collective had evolved on a world of gentle beauty, where the greatest natural disaster was a particularly strong storm. Their technology had developed along paths of efficiency and harmony with nature. Their ships were grown rather than built. Their energy came from tapping into cosmic background radiation, and their conflicts were resolved through meditation and consensus. The scanners, the Prometheus approached the outer edge of the Kepler 442 system, Captain Chen ordered a full stop. The alien structure was now visible on their screens, and it defied all human understanding of architecture. The habitat appeared to be a living organism, pulsing with bioluminescent patterns that created a mesmerizing display of colors. "It's beautiful," Dr. Webb whispered, staring at the readings. "The structure seems to be part biological, part technological. I've never seen anything like it." "Captain," Lieutenant Rivera reported, "we're being scanned. The energy beam is very gentle, almost like a soft touch rather than our typical high-powered sensors." Sarah made her decision. Return the courtesy. Give them a standard friendly scan. Let them know we're here peacefully. On Haven 7, Zix-9 prepared to conduct the most important scientific analysis of its long life. The alien vessel had responded to their gentle probe with its own scanning beam, but the intensity was unlike anything the collective had ever experienced. The scan penetrated their biomechanical hull with ease, mapping their internal structures with precision that should have been impossible. "Fascinating," Zix-9 observed. "Their scanning technology is remarkably advanced. But let us see what their vessel reveals to us." The scanning beam reached out across the void, touching the hull of the Prometheus. What it found sent shockwaves through the collective's scientific community. The readings were beyond comprehension. The human ship's hull was constructed from materials that could withstand temperatures of several thousand degrees. The power core was generating energy equivalent to a small star. The vessel's defensive systems could project barriers strong enough to deflect objects traveling at significant fractions of light speed. But it was the weapons that truly terrified the collective. The ship carried fusion missiles that could crack moons, particle beam weapons that could slice through asteroids, and defensive lasers that could vaporize incoming threats with surgical precision. To the peaceful, ethereal collective, the human ship appeared to be a weapon of mass destruction. The Revelation High Counselor Zix-9's voice trembled with shock. "The scan results are impossible. This vessel possesses technology that could destroy entire worlds. The energy readings suggest they have harnessed forces that we considered purely theoretical." Vexprime's ancient consciousness reeled at the implications. "Are you certain? Could there be an error in the readings? I have run the scans 17 times. Each result is identical. This species has built a vessel capable of planetary destruction, and they have approached our home with weapons that could end our civilization." Throughout Haven 7, the news spread like wildfire. Emergency councils convened, ancient protocols were activated, and for the first time in 15,000 years, the collective prepared for the possibility of war. First contact on the Prometheus, Captain Chen was growing concerned. The alien habitat had gone silent after the initial scan exchange. "Lieutenant Rivera, any response to our communications?" "Nothing, Captain. They've stopped scanning us, but I'm detecting a lot of activity on their station. Energy signatures are increasing, and it looks like they're powering up systems that were previously dormant." Dr. Webb frowned at his readings. "Captain, I think we may have a problem. From what I can determine, this species appears to be naturally peaceful. Their technology is elegant and efficient, but it's not designed for conflict. They might be interpreting our presence as a threat. How is that possible? We haven't made any aggressive moves." "Ma'am," Dr. Webb said carefully, "I think the problem might be our ship itself. The Prometheus is built to survive in the harshest conditions space can offer. Our hull can withstand asteroid impacts. Our power systems can operate for decades. and our defensive systems are designed to handle any threat we might encounter. To a peaceful species, we might look like a weapon of war. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. Are you saying they think we're here to attack them? It's possible. From their perspective, we've just arrived in their system in a heavily armed, an armored vessel. They might not understand that this is just how humans build things. Finally, a communication came through the ship's speakers. The voice was harmonic and musical, but there was fear underlying the beautiful tones. Unknown vessel, this is High Counselor Vexprim of the Ethereal Collective. We have analyzed your ship's capabilities and are concerned about your intentions. Your vessel possesses weapons of tremendous power. We wish to know why you have come to our system armed for war. Captain Chen took a deep breath. This was the moment that would determine the future of human-alien relations. High Counselor Vexprim, this is Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earthship Prometheus. We come in peace. We are explorers from the planet Earth, seeking to learn about the universe and make contact with other intelligent species. We mean no harm to you or your people. There was a long pause before the alien responded. Captain Chen, your words speak of peace, but your weapons speak of war. Your ship possesses the power to destroy worlds. How can we trust beings who travel the stars armed for destruction? Dr. Webb stepped forward. Captain, let me try to explain our situation. He activated the communication system. High Counselor, this is Dr. Marcus Webb. I understand your concern, but you must understand that humans come from a very different world than yours. Our planet is harsh and dangerous, with natural disasters that can wipe out entire civilizations. We build our ships to survive in hostile environments because that is the only way we know how to survive. Your world is hostile, came the surprised response. What manner of dangers do you face? Asteroid impacts that can cause mass extinctions, volcanic eruptions that can change our planet's climate for years, storms that can destroy entire cities, and radiation from space that can kill any living thing. We have learned to prepare for the worst because on our world, the worst happens regularly. The communication went silent again, and Sarah could only hope that the aliens were beginning to understand. The future of humanity's relationship with the galaxy hung in the balance, and it all depended on whether these peaceful beings could understand that humans had been forged by a dangerous universe into something stronger than they appeared. Asterisk. The revelation, the galactic network, the news of the human arrival spread through the ethereal collective's communication network faster than anyone had anticipated. Within hours, the information had reached other species in the local galactic community. The collective had been part of a loose alliance of peaceful civilizations for millennia, sharing knowledge and resources across dozens of star systems. On the crystal world of Nexus Prime, the Harmonious Assembly received the urgent transmission. From High Counselor Vexprim, the Assembly represented 17 different species, all of whom had evolved on worlds of relative peace and stability. The concept of a species that had developed advanced technology, specifically to survive planetary disasters, was beyond their understanding. Ambassador Keth Savan of the Ethereal Collective stood before the Assembly, its crystalline form projecting the scanned data from the human ship. The holographic display showed the Prometheus in all its armored glory, and the assembled delegates reacted with a mixture of fascination and fear. Honored representatives, Keth Seven began, its voice carrying the harmonic resonance of its species. We have encountered what appears to be a species from what they call a death world. Their technology is built not for exploration or trade, but for survival against extinction-level threats. the delegate from the aquatic collective, whose people had never experienced anything worse than a strong tide, raised a tentacle in confusion. Extinction-level threats. What could threaten an entire species, according to their communications? Their world regularly experiences asteroid impacts capable of causing mass extinctions. They have built their ships to survive direct impacts from space debris traveling at incredible speeds. Their weapons are designed to destroy incoming threats before they can reach their planet. A murmur of disbelief rippled through the assembly. The concept of a world so dangerous that its inhabitants had to develop such extreme survival technology was difficult to comprehend. Earth's response back on Earth. Admiral Rebecca Stone stood in the command center of Earth's Space Command, reading the reports from Captain Chen with growing concern. The situation at Kepler 442 was deteriorating rapidly, and the potential for humanity's first contact with alien life to become a disaster was increasing by the hour. Admiral, called Communications Officer Lisa Park, we're receiving transmissions from multiple sources in the Kepler 442 system. It appears the aliens have contacted other species about our presence. Admiral Stone felt her stomach drop. How many other species are we talking about? At least 17 confirmed civilizations. Ma'am, they're treating the Prometheus as a potential threat to galactic peace. President Maria Santos appeared on the main screen via secure communication link from the United Nations headquarters. Admiral, I need to understand the situation. Are we looking at a potential war with multiple alien civilizations? Madam President, the situation is complex. The aliens aren't necessarily hostile, but they're terrified of us. Our technology appears to be far more advanced than anything they've encountered. They think we're a warrior species bent on conquest. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, Earth's leading xenobiologist, joined the conversation from her research facility. The problem is one of perspective. We've always built our technology to survive in hostile environments because that's what Earth demands. But these aliens appear to have evolved on much gentler worlds. To them, our survival technology looks like weapons of war. President Santos shook her head in frustration. How do we convince them that we're peaceful when our very existence contradicts their understanding of peace? The test in the outer reaches of the Kepler 442 system. War Master Thok of the Crimson Hegemony had been monitoring the situation with growing interest. The Hegemony was a militant faction that had been driven to the fringes of galactic society centuries ago for their aggressive expansion policies. They saw the current crisis as an opportunity to prove their worth to the galaxy. These humans claim to be peaceful, Thok growled to his subordinates, his reptilian features twisted with disdain. But their ships are built for war. I say we test their true intentions. His second-in-command, a scarred warrior named Vextor, nodded in agreement. If they are truly peaceful, they will not fight back when attacked. If they are the threat the galaxy fears, they will reveal their true nature. Thok's fleet of 12 warships began moving toward the human vessel, their weapons powered and ready. The Hegemony ships were built for battle, but even they appeared fragile compared to the heavily armored Prometheus. On the Prometheus, Lieutenant Rivera detected the approaching ships immediately. Captain, we have 12 vessels approaching at high speed. They're powering weapons and not responding to our communications. Captain Chen felt her heart racing. This was the moment she had been dreading. If they fought back, it would confirm every fear the aliens had about human aggression. If they didn't fight back, her crew would die. All hands, battle stations, she ordered. But remember, we fire only in self-defense. We will not be the ones to start a war. Dr. Webb looked up from his station with alarm. Captain, if we use our weapons, even in self-defense, it will confirm their worst fears about us. Doctor, I will not let my crew die to prove a point. We'll defend ourselves, but we'll try to minimize casualties. The hegemony ships attacked with everything they had, firing plasma cannons and missile barrages at the Prometheus. The human ship's shields absorbed the impacts easily, the alien weapons barely registering on their defensive systems. Return. Fire, Captain Chen ordered reluctantly. Target their weapons systems only. I want them disabled, not destroyed. The Prometheus's defensive lasers responded with surgical precision, slicing through the hegemony ship's weapon arrays without damaging their life support systems. Within minutes, the entire attacking fleet was disabled, their crews alive but unable to continue fighting. Throughout the galaxy, civilizations watched in stunned silence as the humans had demonstrated both their overwhelming technological superiority and their restraint. The Prometheus could have destroyed the attacking fleet in seconds, but instead had chosen to disable them without loss of life. High Counselor Vexprim contacted the Prometheus immediately. Captain Chen, we have witnessed your response to aggression. Your people possessed the power to destroy, yet you chose mercy. This is not the behavior of a warrior species. Captain. Chen felt relief flooding through her. High Counselor, this is what we've been trying to tell you. We are not warriors by choice. We are survivors by necessity. Our technology is designed to protect, not to conquer. Understanding over the following days. Representatives from across the galaxy gathered in the Kepler 442 system to learn more about humanity. Dr. Webb worked tirelessly to explain Earth's harsh conditions and how they had shaped human development. Our planet experiences ice ages that can last for hundreds of thousands of years, he explained to the assembled delegates. We have supervolcanoes that can change our climate for decades. We face asteroid impacts that can cause mass extinctions. We have learned to build technology that can survive these disasters because, if we don't, our species dies. The aquatic delegates spoke up. But surely such a harsh world would prevent the development of advanced civilization. Actually, it's the opposite, Dr. Webb replied. The constant threat of extinction has driven us to develop technology rapidly. We've had to learn to adapt quickly or face annihilation. Ambassador Kethsaven of the Ethereal Collective began to understand. So your weapons are not meant for conquest, but for survival. Exactly. Our asteroid defense systems are designed to protect our planet from cosmic impacts. Our ship armor is built to survive impacts from space debris. Our power systems are designed to operate for decades because rescue might not come for a very long time. The Resolution President Santos addressed the Galactic Assembly via subspace communication. We understand your concerns about our technology. We know it appears threatening to species that have never faced extinctional-level disasters. But we ask you to judge us not by our tools, but by our actions. You have powerful weapons, observed the delegate from the Silicon Collective, yet you chose not to use them against the hegemony fleet. We believe in proportional response, Captain Chen explained. We use the minimum force necessary to protect ourselves and others. Our goal is always to preserve life, not to destroy it. High Counselor Vexprim made the decision that would change galactic history. After careful consideration, the Ethereal Collective believes that humanity, despite their formidable technology, seeks peaceful coexistence. We propose a gradual introduction to galactic civilization with appropriate safeguards and monitoring. The other species agreed. though some remained cautious. Humanity would be welcomed into the galactic community, but their unique nature would always make them special. They were the species that had conquered a death world and emerged stronger for it. The future as the crisis resolved. Captain Chen stood once again on the bridge of the Prometheus, but now she looked out at a galaxy full of potential friends instead of potential enemies. The misunderstanding had been resolved, but it had taught both humanity and the galaxy valuable lessons. Captain, Dr. Webb said, approaching with a smile. I've been thinking about what this means for our future. We're going to be the galaxy's problem solvers, aren't we? Sarah nodded thoughtfully. When other species face extinction-level threats, they'll call on us. When they need technology that can survive the impossible, they'll ask for our help. We're going to be the ones who protect a peaceful galaxy from the dangers they never had to face. The Prometheus began its journey home, carrying with it the promise of a new era for humanity. They had proven that strength and peace could coexist, that survival and compassion were not mutually exclusive, and that even the most feared species could become trusted allies. The galaxy had learned that sometimes the most dangerous-looking beings were actually the most protective, and humanity had learned that their harsh origins, rather than being a source of shame, were actually their greatest gift to a universe that needed guardians. The future stretched ahead, full of possibilities for cooperation, exploration, and mutual understanding. The species forged by a death world had found their place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as protectors of all life in the galaxy. Asterisk.